Hi, Eric Gibaud, ericgibaud.com, and today I'm going to speak about infrared photography. When it was made with film photography, many people were doing it with special films and special filters, and with the digital era, it's more complicated most of the time. You need a camera that has an infrared filter that is removed from the sensor, but there is a massive exception. Fujifilm X-Trans camera sensors. This is, you will see that with this and a filter, you can get this infrared effect. So we're going to speak about it. So let's start. First of all, I want to thank two persons. One is Pascal Martin, a guy who is following me on YouTube, and we speak sometime via Instagram, and he said, Eric, look, I'm trying to do infrared photography. I've just got this filter, and yes, I noticed it, I learned it from that video, so thank you to this other YouTuber. I'll leave you the link to his video here because he explained the technique. I didn't know it was possible to do it with a Fujifilm X. So I'm not going to repeat exactly what he said in his video because I made some more tests, not to do just black and white infrared, but also color infrared. So we're going to have a look at it, but thank you to both of them. First of all, what are infrared light? Well, when you look at the spectrum of light, it goes from this to this that we can see, but then there are two extremes we cannot see: ultraviolet and also infrared. Infrared light is from 700 to 1200 nanometers, and the eye cannot see it, but our sensor can see it. So most sensors, they have a special filter to cut the infrared so it doesn't distract or bother or interfere with the rest of the light, okay? But on the Fujifilm X-Trans sensors, it seems that the infrared filter is a lot weaker, so we do get a lot of this light. So if we want to look at this light and we don't want to have it mixed with the visible light, we need a special filter that will let in only infrared light. Okay, so this is the Hoya R72. I'll leave you a link in the description where you can buy it. There's a Hurt, I don't know the name, Hurt, I'm not sure, okay, but I've not tested it. So I tested on my Fujifilm X100 Mark VI, and I get the infrared with this mixing the filter. So I'm going to tell you how I do it, explain a bit the problematic, because there are some problem. I'll develop the picture after, okay? But you're going to have a look at something that looks really like infrared pictures. So really important. There are two types of infrared filters. The one that actually blocks infrareds that there is most of the time on camera sensors, okay? We can still buy them this way. And the one that actually select them, that get in only infrared light, okay? So it's really important you don't mix up. This is why I indicate which filter it is, because maybe you walk into a shop, you say, I want an infrared filter, and they will sell you one that blocks infrared, and you don't want that blocks. You want one that block normal light and lets in only infrared, okay? So that's really important. Don't buy just anything that writes infrared, because they're really different. They have completely opposite function, okay? There are two types of infrared photography: the black and white infrared and the color infrared. We're going to have a look at both, okay? When we speak about Fujifilm, the great thing for many people is to have the recipes and the film simulation and get your picture out of the camera straight without any post-production. So we're going to look at both situations, with or without post-production. The version without, you need to have a recipe that is thought for this filter, and this is actually what I got from the YouTube channel I told you before, okay? I'll leave you the link, okay? So thank you to him, okay? But I wanted to go a bit further and see what happened if I work in Photoshop in post-production. You actually get a raw file or JPEG, depends what you want to do, but in color. If you don't use a black and white film simulation, you get a color JPEG. It's not color, it's completely red. If you look at it, here, this is about 12 stop. I don't know, it's many stop, but it's completely red, okay? So I'll show you right now a raw file so you have a look at it, okay? So what happened if I decide to do my black and white or my color infrared picture in post-production? So we're going to have a look at both situations, okay? But the good news is for people who love Fujifilm film simulation, they can get similar to infrared black and white photography straight out of the camera, okay? A small rectification, maybe I was not clear when I said that this filter led from 700 to 900 nanometers. I made a mistake. It's actually what infrared photography tries to capture, okay? But this filter lets in anything above 720 nanometer infrared light, okay? That means that what gets to the sensor, we'll see, depends on the sensor, okay? But yeah, it will let in from 720 nanometers. Two problems. First, this light, this filter cuts so much light that if you want to do handheld photography, you need to bump up the ISO really high, really high. On my X400 Mark VI, I had to be on f2 and 6400 or 12,000 ISO, okay? And even though the exposure was really slow, okay, really long, but if you don't have this possibility, I recommend you use a tripod. Yeah, that I prefer to use a tripod. But don't forget that if your subject is moving like waves or leaves in the tree, the branches, because it's windy, whatever, then that part of the picture will be moved. The fixed part will be okay, but the rest will be moved. So it all depends on the style you want to do and the type of picture you want to do, but the best way is to experiment and see what you like more or less. Second, this cuts so much light that unless you have the latest cameras, it will not be possible to have the autofocus to work properly. Yeah, on the X100 Mark VI, I had no problem to have the autofocus, but if you have an older camera, simply it will not work. So the same as when we do landscape photography with a 10-stop ND or 15-stop ND, what we do is we actually focus manually without the filter, then place the filter, then adapt the exposure, and then make the picture. So this is why it's important to have a tripod in this situation, obviously. But if you feel your camera cannot manage to have the autofocus made, that's a reason. It's not getting enough light to be able to work, okay? That's the only reason. So they are a bit too inconvenient at the moment of taking the picture. So if you want to have your picture, black and white picture, straight out of camera, we need to have a recipe, and it's based on the simulation Acros. If you have an older Fujifilm camera that doesn't have Acros, you can select monochrome, that will work, okay? And with the Acros, you have the option of yellow or red. If you select red, it's more contrasty. I prefer it, but you can try with yellow if you don't want so contrasty, okay? Dynamic range plus 200, I'll write you the recipe here anyway. Dynamic range plus 200, grain off, color chrome blue, so if you don't have it, don't worry because it's off anyway. White balance, 500 and it's 5,550 Kelvin with an adjustment of red -8, blue +4, highlights +2, shadows +4, sharpen -4, noise reduction -4, clarity +1, and when you should compensate with 1 stop, okay? I tried also with other film simulation like the Ilford Auto 80, but the leaves, tree leaves, were not as white as with this simulation. So I do think that this recipe is the one to use, the one I got from that video, okay? So yeah, try this, and you will get something really close to infrared. That's not bad, out of the camera directly, okay? So let's try it. So I got my black and white picture straight out of camera, and then I thought, what could I do in post-production to create this, but not using this recipe, but starting from the raw file or a color JPEG? How would it look? Well, they both look red. I would say the raw file is a lot softer, not as aggressive as if you use film simulation, color film simulation, like I used the Kodak Hector. It looks really bright, really contrasty, but I wanted to use that one because if you're going to do something a bit different, a bit radical, I wanted to have this that was a lot more punchy, okay? So I started to work on that. First thing, obviously you can use this red picture like this and have a different look for your pictures. That's a possibility. But then I thought, oh, strange, when we look at color infrared pictures, they're always really blue tone and white trees and things like this. How could that work? So I investigated, and I show you you could do that in Photoshop based on this red color picture. How do you get this blue aspect? So I'll show you right now. Okay, so we have the red version. Okay, so we can easily change that. I go to my channel mixer, that is here. I select the red channel, I put on 0. The blue channel, I put on 100%. And here I select the output blue, I put 100% here and 0 here. And that's it. That easy. Okay. For example, image, channel mixer, red output channel, I put 0 in red, 100% in blue, sorry, 100%. Then if I go to the blue channel, I put 100% in red and 0% in blue. Okay. And then after I decided it would be interesting to compare, to see if it was better to use a straight out of camera black and white infrared simulation with the filter, or start from this blue infrared color I got from in Photoshop and pass it on to black and white using Silver Effects by DxO. So I show you with the channel mixer, and then use Silver Effects by DxO. Okay, so here 100%, 0. Okay, and then I go to my filter, Silver Effects. I think a simulation of Ilford Delta, something like this, should be really good for that. So let's check Ilford Super X. Okay, or I could have, yeah, any of this is good. Okay, I could work on the zone here, but that gives an idea. Okay. Oh, that's not bad. Let's see how it comes down here. Okay, processing the image, and I think this looks is even more this typical look out of this, instead of using the film simulation. Obviously, when we speak about this kind of delirium, you don't have to follow the exact recipe or the exact way to do it, because actually it's a creative photography, and maybe you don't want to have 100% on one thing, you want only half of this, but I recommend you practice and get the look you want, whether it's black and white or whether it's color, doesn't matter, and experiment. This is the best way to get what you like. So this is a base for you where to start, but the rest is to your taste, and you are the person to decide what to do. Okay. Obviously, you can mix in a different way than full 100%. Okay. This is you to decide the aspect of the picture you want. Here I put 0, for example. Here I put 100%. Okay. And then on the red channel I would say, and on the blue channel I would say I put 0 here. Okay, but then I decide to put like 25% here, for example, or 30 or 50. Okay, but this is your decision. Obviously depends on the way you want the picture to look. Okay. Really important. Very often when we make a picture with film simulation and we work RAW plus JPEG, we think, wow, if I don't like the JPEG, no, doesn't matter, I've got the RAW file. Don't forget that you have a physical filter on your camera. It means this RAW file is red. It doesn't matter what you do. So if you want the original without any color, without any red color, you want it as natural color, don't forget to make a picture without any filter, because we often forget that yeah, if you don't like the JPEG, I'll get the RAW file, but we often forget that if there's anything on the lens, it will be affected. Okay, so the RAW file will not be normal, will not be natural. So don't forget it. If it's a really important picture for you, and you want to experiment with infrared but also have a normal original, don't forget to remove the filter to test it and to make the picture in a normal way, I would say, okay? I hope you like the video. You can experiment, see if you like it. Yeah, it's total freedom to do something different. I'll leave you a link in the description where you can get this filter, okay? And just play with it, have fun. If you don't have a Fujifilm camera, I don't know if it would work partly or nothing. I've got no idea about this. I remind you that with Fujifilm is Fujifilm X, not GFX, okay? So try it and enjoy if you like it. It's fun to do something different sometime, okay? So thank you so much for watching the video. If you feel it may interest other people, please share it on social networks. If you have not done it yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, the small button down here and the small bell. If you click on the bell, get notified when I upload a new video. My website, ericgibaud.com. If you have any question, can leave a comment below. Also leave you links of my gear on Amazon, links of everything I reviewed by K&F Concept, Sandmarc and Flashes by Westcott, more affiliated links, and also a link to my PayPal account in case you wanted to make a donation. Thank you very much. Please take care of yourself and see you soon. Bye.